So welcome back to Career Power Hyderabad, powered by Adda 247. So students, you can see on the screen, learn current affairs 10 times effectively. So this is a new 5-stage method of discussion of the current affairs, a unique way to learn and remember. So let's see the importance of this method. So in the first stage, headlines with blank. So the purpose of giving a blank in the headline itself is to create a question in the minds of the students so that they will try to look for the answer all through the discussion. So this will enhance the grasping and the concentration levels of the student. In the second stage, a detailed analysis, we discuss the current affairs in detail, all the related current affairs, all the related static points. So this section covers all the key areas from which questions can be asked in the examination. The third stage is the one word key points. So just reading current affairs once will not help a student in remembering them. So we take a keyword from every current affair. So this keyword will be apparently the most probable question to be asked. So this stage will be the first stage of revision. So the fourth stage, important MCQs. So this is the second stage of revision in which we try to revise all the current affairs in the form of MCQs, same like in the examination. The final stage is the section wise revision where we segregate the week long current affairs into section wise. So by taking section wise we can compare different points. So this will help in remembering the current affairs for a longer time period. So please do watch your videos. You will understand how effective is this 5-stage method. So we'll go into the headlines today. The first important headline for today. Okay. So you can see on the screen the first important headline for today. So which of the which country has been the 5th largest recipient of foreign direct investment in 2020 according to the UN report? So which country is the 5th largest recipient of the foreign direct investment in 2020 according to the UN report? So PM Modi has launched a new app. So what is that app? So which government has launched the Mukhyamantri Udyami Yojana? So a British lawyer has been recently appointed as the International Criminal Court Chief Prosecutor. So who is that lawyer? So who was named the ambassador of Forest Frontline Heroes at the World Wildlife Fund India? So next headline you can see, who becomes the first Arunachali woman to be appointed in AIBA, International Boxing Association. So India and which country have conducted bilateral exercises in Indian Ocean recently? So no tax on cash deposits made by housewives during the demonetization 2016. So demo means demonetization 2016. So we'll see about it. So SEBI reconstituted a 4-member takeover panel, and who is the chairman of that panel? So SEBI has reconstituted the 4-member takeover panel, and who is the chairman of the panel? So Airtel and one software company is going to partner for 5G network solutions. So what is that company? So who is the author of the book 7 Sins of Being a Mother? So who was honored with the European Inventor Award? So a weightlifter who belongs to New Zealand mainly. She will be the first trans athlete to compete at Olympics. So what is the name of that weightlifter? World Humanist Day is observed on, and World Hydrography Day is observed on. So these are all the headlines today. So we'll go into the detailed analysis. So first current affair for today. India was the 5th largest recipient of foreign direct investment in 2020, says UN report. So World Investment Report, which is published by the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. So they publish a report called the World Investment Report. And according to this report, India is the 5th largest recipient of foreign direct investment in 2020. So India received nearly 64 billion in 2020, more than 51 billion which it received in 2019. So India is increasing its foreign direct investment despite COVID-19 pandemic. So the first one, the largest recipient of the foreign direct investment is USA with 156 billion, and next is China with 149 billion. Now what is this foreign direct investment? So foreign direct investment is a process where the residents of one country, say USA, they acquire ownership of assets for the purpose of controlling the production, distribution and other activities of firm in other countries, say India. So that means a person from USA is investing money, he is acquiring ownership in India. So this is called foreign direct investment. So investments are generally two types, foreign direct and foreign portfolio. So in foreign direct, people will invest in India, they will build factories in India. In foreign portfolio, people will buy shares of Indian countries, Indian companies. Okay. So that is the basic difference between foreign direct investment, foreign portfolio investment. Clear? So please remember, India is the 5th largest recipient of the foreign direct investment. Okay, USA first, China second. So next news is about PM Modi has launched a new app called M Yoga. So you know, yesterday we celebrated International Yoga Day on June 21st. So on this occasion, PM Modi, World Health Organization and the Ministry of Ayush, Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha, Homeopathy, the full form of Ayush. So WHO and Ayush, they developed an app called M Yoga, which is released by Modi. So this app has all the training videos, practice sessions in different languages, and you can use this app and you can practice yoga at your homes. Okay, so PM Modi has launched a new app called M Yoga app. So please remember it. So this app is presently available in English, Hindi and French languages. The main aim of Modi is to achieve One World, One Health motto. And United Nations celebrates World Yoga Day, the International Day of Yoga, on June 21st to raise awareness about yoga. The theme for this year is Yoga for Well-being, and yoga is an ancient practice originated in India. So these are all the points to remember. So please remember them. M Yoga app is available in English, Hindi and French. PM Modi's government want to achieve a motto called the One World, One Health motto. So United Nations celebrates International Day for Yoga on June 21st, and the theme for this year is Yoga for Well-being. We have discussed all these things yesterday. So Bihar government has launched the Mukhyamantri Udyami Yojana. So in this Mukhyamantri Udyami Yojana, there are two schemes. One is Mukhyamantri Yuva, Mukhyamantri Mahila Udyami Yojana. So first one is Yuva Udyami Yojana, second one is Mahila Udyami Yojana. So this is a promise of the Nitish Kumar government in the election. So he gave a promise that he will provide, he will promote entrepreneurship, he will provide loans for people who are willing to start new businesses. So it is an election promise, now he is implementing it. So in this, both of these schemes are launched to promote entrepreneurship among youth and women of all sections. So he promised to give it for backward classes, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, but now he is giving to every section of the society. Everyone can avail these schemes. So according to this scheme, both youth and women, they will get a loan of nearly 10 lakh, and in this 10 lakh, 5 lakh will be from the state government, 5 lakh will be loan. So total they are giving 10 lakh rupees. In this 10 lakh rupees, 5 lakh you will get from state government, okay, and 5 lakh from as a bank loan, and this will be refunded in 84 installments. So you will get loan and you will be refunded. This amount will be refunded for you in 84 installments. So also remember, the Chief Minister of Bihar, Nitish Kumar, and the Governor of Bihar, Fagu Chauhan. So please remember also Chief Minister of Bihar and Governor of Bihar. So we'll go into the next appointments. So British lawyer, a famous British lawyer, Karim Khan, he sworn in as the International Criminal Court Chief Prosecutor. He also worked as a prosecutor in this criminal court, investigator, a defense attorney. So he belongs to England. So he has a lot of experience, years of experience in the International Criminal Court. So he takes over this post from Fatwa Bensouda of Gambia. It is a total 9-year term. So please remember, this post, a chief prosecutor, is a total 9-year term. So he is very famous for defending many presidents, previous presidents like Liberia President Charles Taylor, Kenya Deputy President William Ruto. So he is very famous for defending his clients at the International Criminal Court. So what is International Criminal Court? So International Criminal Court is governed by an international treaty called the Rome Statute. So Rome Statute, it is governed by the Rome Statute. It is the world's first permanent international criminal court. So it prosecutes genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes in the nations who are unable to or unwilling to carry out their own prosecutions. So this ICC will prosecute genocides, crimes against humanity, war crimes in the nation who are unable to or unwilling to carry out their own prosecutions. Okay. So ICC aims to hold those responsible for their crimes and to prevent further crimes from happening again. So India is not a part of this Rome Statute along with US and China. So both India, China, US, they are not part of this ICC. ICC is formed in 2002, headquarters in Hague, Netherlands, and only there are present 123 member states. So only 123 member states are present in this ICC. Headquarters in Hague, Netherlands. formed in 2002, and also please remember, very important, India is not part of Rome Stat along with US and China. Okay, and Karim Khan is appointed as the ICC's chief prosecutor. So these are all the points to remember. So next is Upasana Kamineni. So Upasana Kamineni, the director of Apollo Hospitals, has been named the ambassador of Forest Frontline Heroes at the World Wildlife Fund India. She has been named the ambassador of Forest Frontline Heroes at the World Wildlife Fund India. So the main aim of this ambassador is to appreciate the efforts of frontline workers in hospitals as well as in the wildlife protection space. So frontline forest staff are nothing but the local community members who play a vital role in building an interface between communities and conservation. So forest frontline staff are nothing but the local community people, local tribals who play an important role in building the interface, a connection between the communities and conservation. Okay, she was appointed as the ambassador of the Forest Frontline Heroes. So we'll see some things about the World Wildlife Fund. So World Wildlife Fund is an international non-governmental organization. It is the world's largest conservation body. Their main aim is to the preservation of wilderness and the reduction of human impact on environment. The main aim of Wildlife Fund is wilderness protection, preservation and reduction of human impact on the environment. So this is formed in 1961, headquarters in Gland, Switzerland. So it is formed in 1961, headquarters in Gland, Switzerland. And World Wildlife Fund India, which is a subsidiary of World Wildlife Fund, is formed in 1969, headquarters in Delhi. Subsidiary of the World Wildlife Fund formed in 1969 and headquarters is in Delhi. Clear? So please remember all these points. So next we will go into next appointment. So Tandang Minnu is the first Arunachali woman to be appointed in the AIBA, which is the International Boxing Association. So he is the first in the state and the second Indian woman in the country to be appointed as the member of the Coaches Committee of the International Boxing Association. Earlier she was the chairman of Boxing Federation of India Women's Commission for 2 years. Okay, she was the chairman of the Boxing Federation of India for 2 years. She is now appointed to the Coaches Committee of the International Boxing Association. So this International Boxing Association was formed in 1964 and headquarters is in Lausanne, Switzerland. Headquarters is in Switzerland. So it is a sports organization mainly that sanctions amateur Olympic style boxing matches and awards worldwide and subordinate championships. So it controls the entire boxing system in the world. So Tandang Minnu has been appointed as the first Arunachal woman to be appointed in the Coaches Committee of the International Boxing Association. So please remember these points. So next defense news, where India and Japan has conducted a bilateral naval exercise in the Indian Ocean. So the main aim of the exercise is to realize the free and open Indo-Pacific. So India and Japan, you know there is a conflict between China and India. So regular conflicts are happening between China and India. China also has a conflict with Japan. China has conflict with Korea. China has conflict with Taiwan. China has conflict with Russia. So this particular Pacific Ocean and the China Sea. So in order to maintain prominence in these Pacific Ocean and in the South China Sea and Indian Ocean. So part of all these things, India and Japan are conducting a bilateral naval exercise in Indian Ocean, mainly to realize free and open Indo-Pacific. So last year, India and Japan have conducted a naval exercise called GIMMEX 2020. So this year it is a naval bilateral exercise to realize free and open Indo-Pacific. So remember points like Japan capital Tokyo, Japan currency Japanese yen. So very recent in news, Japan capital Tokyo, Japan currency Japanese yen, and recent in news is Japan Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga. So Yoshihide Suga is the new Prime Minister of Japan. So please remember them. Shinzo Abe has resigned because of health issues. So Shinzo Abe was replaced by Yoshihide Suga. So please remember these points, very important. So next news is about the Income Tax Appellate Tribunal's decision. So Income Tax Appellate Tribunal Agra, they gave a decision that no tax will be collected on cash deposits made by housewives during the demonetization 2016. So no tax will be collected on money deposited by housewives during the demonetization scheme 2016 up to 2.5 lakh. Up to 2.5 lakh. So the Income Tax Appellate Tribunal has gave this decision that so up to 2.5 lakh deposits will not, there will not be any collection of tax on these deposits. Okay. So because women, mainly women, they store money in their houses. They get money from husband, they get money from relatives, they get money from family members. They store this money in their household, they store in their house itself. So during demonetization, we need to exchange our old currency notes with the new currency notes. So people started depositing money in those banks. So a woman, she deposited nearly 2,11,500 rupees in her bank, and government started collecting income tax on that. So she went to the appellate tribunal, and appellate tribunal had gave decision favor to her, and in this decision up to 2.5 lakh there will not be any tax collection, because women, very poor women, they collect money and they save with themselves. So we need to protect them, we need to exempt them from taxes. So this was the decision of the income tax appellate tribunal. So next is about SEBI. So SEBI has constituted a 4-member takeover panel. So SEBI full form, Securities and Exchange Board of India. Securities and Exchange Board of India. So SEBI constituted a 4-member takeover panel, and the chairman of the panel is Justice N.K. Soodi, and the other members are here. So chairman, please remember chairman, Justice N.K. Soodi. So SEBI first constituted a takeover panel in November 2007 under the chairmanship of K. Kannan. So in 2007 they constituted a panel under the chairmanship of K. Kannan, and now again in 2021 they are constituting a panel under the chairmanship of N.K. Soodi. So what is the purpose of this takeover panel? So this takeover panel will recommend to SEBI. So all the applications, so people will apply for SEBI. So they will apply for exemption from the mandatory open offer. So mandatory open offer means a person, he want to acquire something. He want to acquire a company. Suppose I want to acquire a company. So I need to give a mandatory open offer to the minority shareholders in that company. Take example, I am acquiring some Reliance company. So I need to provide a mandatory open offer to the minority shareholders. So I want to get exemption from this mandatory open offer. So I will apply for SEBI. So SEBI will give this to the takeover panel, and takeover panel will decide. So takeover panel will decide, okay, give exemption to this person or don't give exemption to this person. So this is the takeover panel. So what is the basic function of SEBI? SEBI's main function is to protect the interests of investors in securities and to promote and regulate the security market in India. That is the share market. Simply is the share market. To protect the interests of investors in share market and to promote and regulate the share market. So in 1998 itself, SEBI was constituted as the regulator of capital markets under the resolution of India, and in 1992 by the SEBI Act it was given statutory status. So 1992 it will get statutory status, full powers. So SEBI headquarters is in Mumbai, and SEBI's present chairman is Ajay Tyagi. So please remember these points: SEBI headquarters Mumbai, SEBI chairman Ajay Tyagi. And remember this, takeover panel by SEBI under the chairmanship of N.K. Soodi. Remember, very very important. So next is appointments, where Airtel and TCS has partnered for the 5G network solutions. So Airtel and TCS are partnered for 5G network solutions. You know, pioneer telecom industries in India, Reliance, Jio, Airtel, where pioneer industries in India, telecom industries in India. So Airtel is collaborating with Tata Group. So Tata Group has developed the ORAN system, which is Open Radio Access Network. So under ORAN system, these telecom operators, Airtel, Jio, they can buy their own hardware and software from multiple players. So if you are buying from multiple players, you can get a cheaper price, you can get quality products. So in order to integrate all these multiple products, you need a network integrator, a system integrator. So this system integrator will be now Tata Group. So Tata Group will integrate all these things. Okay. So very simple. So this is all about the Airtel TCS partnership. So Tata Group has built this state-of-art ORAN based radio, which will control all this network system. So please remember these points. Airtel CEO Gopal Vittal, formed in 1999, headquarters at Delhi. TCS CEO Rajesh Gopinathan, formed in 1968, headquarters Mumbai. So please by heart also these points. Airtel CEO Gopal Vittal, formed in 1995, headquarters Delhi. TCS CEO Rajesh Gopinathan, formed in 1968, headquarters is in Mumbai. TCS means Tata Consultancy Services. You know it, very simple. So next is awards, where Tahira Kashyap Khurana, she has, sorry, it's not awards, it's books. Tahira Kashyap Khurana, it's not award, it's a book. News is about books and authors. Books and authors. So Tahira Kashyap Khurana, She announced a new book, The Seven Sins of Being a Mother. So this book is about motherhood. This book is about motherhood. So Tahira Kashyap Khurana, she is also a Bollywood actor and a writer. She announced a new book called The Seven Sins of Being a Mother. This book is mainly about motherhood. So the other works of Tahira Kashyap Khurana are The 12 Commandments of Being a Woman, Cracking the Code, My Journey in Bollywood, Sold Out. These are other important works of Tahira Kashyap Khurana. Okay. So just remember, the author of the book Seven Sins of Being a Mother is Tahira Kashyap Khurana. So next is awards where Sumita Mitra, who belongs like Sumita Mitra, she got the prestigious European Inventor Award. So Sumita Mitra was honored with the prestigious European Inventor Award, and she was awarded in the non-European Patents Office countries category. She was awarded in the non-European Patent Office countries category, and she was the first to integrate mainly the nanotechnology into dental materials. She was first to integrate the nanomaterial into dental materials. So this award, the non-European Patent Office's award, is given by the European Patent Office to recognize outstanding inventors from Europe and India. So this award, non-European Patent Office countries award, is given by the European Patent Office to recognize the outstanding inventors from Europe and beyond. This European Patents Office is formed in 1997, headquarters in Munich, Bavaria State, Germany. So headquarters is in Germany. So please remember, very, very important. Okay. So Sumita Mitra was awarded the European Inventor Award. So next we will go to sports news, where weightlifter Laurel Hubbard is the first trans athlete to compete at Olympics. So weightlifter Laurel Hubbard will be the first trans athlete to compete at Olympics. So Hubbard belongs to the New Zealand weightlifting team. So she will participate in the women's heavyweight 87 kg plus category. She already won silver at the 2017 Women World Championships. So this is about Laurel Hubbard. So remember, she is the first trans athlete to participate in the Olympics 2020 Summer Olympics, which are going to happen in Tokyo, Japan from 23rd July to 8th August. So next month you will see, by this same time next month you will see the launch of Tokyo Olympics, Summer Olympics 2020, and the motto of the Summer Olympics is United by Emotion. So Olympics 2020 were postponed last year due to COVID-19 pandemic. So this year they are conducting it in same place, Tokyo, from 23rd July to 8th August, and the motto is United by Emotion. Okay. So next we'll go to days. So World Humanist Day, 21st June. So World Humanist Day is observed on 21st June, and the main aim of day is to spread awareness about humanism as a philosophical life stance and means to effect change in the world. The main aim is to spread humanism, to change the world. This day is organized by the International Humanist and Ethical Union. This day is mainly organized by the International Humanist and Ethical Union, which is a global federation of humanist, atheist, rationalist, ethical culture, secularist and other free thought groups. It's a group, it's a global federation of all these people, which is formed in 1952, headquarters is in London. Formed in 1952, headquarters is in London. So please remember, World Humanist Day, June 21st. So next, World Hydrography Day, June 21st. So that the aim to make awareness about, public aware about hydrography. The main aim of the day is to make awareness about hydrography. So the theme for this year is 100 years of the international cooperation in hydrography. The theme for this year is 100 years of international cooperation in hydrography. The main aim of this World Hydrography Day is to make public aware of hydrography and the essential role in everyone's life. So generally hydrography is used by ships to navigate through larger bodies like oceans, seas and rivers. Hydrography is used by ships to navigate through larger bodies like oceans, seas and rivers. What is hydrography? Hydrography is simply measuring and categorization of physical features of ocean, seas, coastal regions, lakes, rivers. Hydrography is measuring and categorization of the physical features of all these water bodies is hydrography. Okay. So please remember, hydrography June 21st, Humanist Day June 21st, please remember. So these are all the current affairs for today. We'll go into the one word key points. So India is the 5th largest recipient of foreign direct investment in 2020, USA first, China second. PM Modi launched MUOGA app. Bihar has launched Mukhyamantri Udyami Yojana program. Karim Khan is the new ICC, International Criminal Court Chief Prosecutor. Upasana Kamneni is the ambassador of Forest Frontline Heroes. Tandan Minnu is the first Arunachali woman to be appointed to the coaches committee of the International Boxing Association. India and Japan had conducted a bilateral naval exercise. So no tax on cash deposits made by housewives during demonetization 2016 up to 2.5 lakh. SEBI has constituted a 4-member takeover panel, and the chairman of this takeover panel is N.K. Soodi. So Airtel and TCS, they have partnering for the 5G network solutions. Tahir Kashyap Khurana is the author of the 7 Sins of Being a Mother. Sumita Mitra has been awarded the European Inventor Award. So weightlifter Laurel Hubbard is the first trans athlete to participate in the Olympics. World Humanist Day 21st June and World Hydrography Day 21st June. So please by heart these one word key points. So tomorrow come and answer the MCQs. So we'll have a session on MCQs. So if you like our content, don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. So for this PDF, go and subscribe our Telegram channel. You can also have daily newspaper. We'll provide daily newspaper in the Telegram channel. We are providing MCQs in the Telegram channel. So there is a lot of content in the Telegram channel. So we are coming up with future videos on history, polity, economy, geography, banking awareness. So do subscribe our channel. You'll get a lot of content to see. So thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow.